Now you're drinking a lot of Sprite. Today is currently October 2nd, 2025. I'm Naya, drinking a lot of Sprite, and my content is not for everybody. Gang stalking is real to your household. You're not doing it for likes, music, clout chasing, or fame. I'm still healing from a hate crime that was done to me with individuals that hack my devices and is gang stalking me, and they trying to blackmail me against me to pay me out their beats. I'm actually not in the day. I am not a sex worker, and I do not do drugs, and I say that respectfully. Always be yourself when someone threatens your life that nobody's going to hear your voice. What up, butterfly? The energy is different. You know, your conscious when it comes to motivation. Time and day, that vocabulary is different. You know, I'm pouring, so you have to overlook me. You know, when you have to look in the mirror to understand that you truly far from pretending, being authentic. You know the potential that God endured with you, whether in the storm they come relate to. Hold on 1 second, you wasn't seeking revenge besides speaking up for yourself when you was far from mentally ill. You know, they would try to paint you to be something that you truly not. I may not make sense to the average person, but butterfly, at the end of the day, never allow someone to make you feel like you're supposed to hesitate when it comes to becoming your best self vision of yourself. When it comes to hold on 1 second, motivation is different. That strength, hold on 1 second, that right from that left foot, they were stolen, spoken in a toxic way. They didn't want you to look at yourself when it came to that mirror that day, that reflection. You are beautiful, you are handsome. How they had to project spoken in a toxic way, put it at your doorstep, let alone violate your privacy. And I say that respectfully. When you were truly speaking up for yourself, they said that you was truly the issue, mentally unstable, but they had to get folks in different tax bracket to gang stalk you, let alone project the hate train when it comes to hold on 1 second, having authorities, but that didn't live in your thought process to end it because you was your biggest cheerleader when God was truly not misleading you wrong, when the soul was never for selling, was really keeping it real. You know, they won't understand, hold on 1 second, you tied your shoe differently. When the right people walk in and see like they didn't have to pretend, hold on 1 second, to bring harm towards you. You know, send you the evil eye alone, project this forward in a toxic way. The energy is different when you come overcoming pain and trauma. You know, like the doorman that day that was watching your every move when you came from going from point A to Z. You know, the one that picked up the phone, let them send that text message that day, talking about, yeah, they way back, they on their way back where they left out the door that day. Regardless of man or female, how they had to project spoke in a toxic way, how they try to dibble and dabble at the end of the day to mess up your vocabulary when it comes to your conscious, hold on 1 second, motivation, but God's support into you to show you the proper strategies, love you. You know, that comprehension hits different. You ain't have to worship the devil, let alone fall for his pretending. You know, healing, trauma, and pain continue to blossom. They would never understand that walk of life they couldn't fulfill. Hold on 1 second, walking a day in your shoes when you didn't have to get physical. You know, you're going to have folks, regardless if it's your bloodline at the end of the day, how folks will try to pay people off just to blackmail you, against you, to humiliate you. They even do things to make you feel mentally unstable, but overcome what you've been through. You are worthy. Understand that. Hold on 1 second. It was truly a dream come true. You choosing you when God truly allowed you to feel why you overcame those obstacles, not to overlook you. You know, you're going to have individuals when you try to become your best self vision of yourself, regardless you came from poverty and pain. You know, individuals not going to want you to become your best self vision of yourself. So they will bring sport inside your household, regardless if it's the maintenance man or the next door neighbor that had a plan at the end of the day to shortchange when it comes to your mental health, how they was watching your every move like a bad habit. When you didn't have to get physical, you was far from a crash out. How they the same individuals that hacking your devices, that's gang stalking at the end of the day, and they trying to paint you up to be somebody truly not. You didn't have to say someone's name. It'd be the train of thought from how someone's mask fall off, and they chose, and they continue to choose to attack you. When it come to your beauty, they says it starts within the eyes, but it starts within. They would never understand that. Hold on 1 second, God wasn't telling a lie when God was truly protecting your mental health. When innocent people at the end they get put in the crossfire when it comes to someone's insecurity problems because someone's being projected on an innocent person. Because hold on 1 second, you didn't have your own potential being authentic. How you talking about that you so real? But you sitting there playing with spoken in a toxic way, trying to paint someone to be mentally ill. It sounds like you need a straight body jacket when someone knew how to respect you, even days when they couldn't see they was far from pretending being authentic. You know, I may not make sense to the average person, but this type of stuff actually happens. It don't matter how much money someone can possibly have at the end of the day, how someone doesn't want to see you prosper or take their spot, how they will have their community that they grew up in, or the community that they live in, or the community they outgrew, or they come back to once in a while, or whatever the case may be. They will make sure that they have their community go up against you so you won't prosper and elevate. And how they will project sport towards people that wants to love you, respect you, or protect you. They will even pay people at the end of the day from your past that don't live in your reality today, just to get tabs on you, or just to find out what you got going on. They will even project spell work and cause confusion in your life at the end of the day. But never give up on yourself, and I say that respectfully. When you was far from a hater, we can't relate. but stay in your name, label. Don't ever trick on my content, that's okay. Never give up on yourself. I may not make sense to the average person, but my content is not for everybody. You know, God was known for self-likes, views, and cloud chasing of fame. How individuals, regardless they have more than you or not at the end of the day, they will pay someone from their old neighborhood or someone that they knew or their family members just to project spark on you so they don't want you to prosper and elevate. And then when you speak up for yourself, they try to dim your light to bring harm towards you, to rob you mentally, spiritually, financially, to make you feel like whole and once like you're not worthy. They will even try to make you homeless in the process. I would never hurt myself. I'm still healing from a hate crime that individuals did to me. I would never hurt myself. Gang stalking is really real. An individual will try to paint you out to be something you're truly not. They will paint sceneries at the end of the day to act like you were an addict or a sex worker when that was never the case at the end of the day. How folks will make money off for you and try to blackmail you and call you slow, stupid, and retarded when that was never the case, when you wasn't trying to catch one, when you didn't have to pretend to be authentic. And one thing you never had to do was run from your past, know how to take accountability for your actions. And hold on one second, that self-conscious is different when it comes to motivation. That strength is different when God truly shows you. When they can walk into your light, they fall from a hater. And I say it respectfully, neighbor. Always be yourself on intentions. Healing trauma and pain is not a race overnight process, but always be yourself with no malicious intentions. I'm not your genuine respect, and gang stalking is real. Someone can have more than you, or someone can act like they got more than you, and try to bring harm towards you. Let alone project spark on you. You don't have to do nothing besides be your authentic self. You know, being authentic is a remedy they can't relate to. It wasn't on you, it was within you. That energy is different. When someone says you ain't have potential, but they sitting there taking notes. Stop the violence. Have a good day.